Hey guys, welcome to another amazing Chi Energy webinar with me, David Wong. So today we have a very special message and topic. It is the truer version of the truth that you have never heard before. And also there's a subtopic that we will be discussing, which is rediscovering an ancient power. If you don't know me, I'm David Wong. My story is I was chronically ill for 10 years. I suffered from a chronic digestive disease that sucked up all my energy to the point that I could barely do any work. I was so tired every day and I was in pain every day and I suffered every day for 10 whole freaking years. And I tried every kind of conventional medicine there was. There was medication, there's different kinds of alternative therapy as well, such as acupuncture and herbs and naturopathic medicine. But in the long term, over those 10 years, I never was able to heal myself. And I thought I was just going to live like that for the rest of my life and just try to get by and survive. And the older I got during that time, the less energy I had because my body grew weaker and weaker. When I was younger, I could kind of like tough my way through it and still be able to function kind of semi-normally. But as the years went by, my immune system and my energy level and my regenerative system just started to degenerate as with regular aging. And I said, I gotta find a way to heal this thing once and for all, because I was only in my 20s, 30s at that time. And I said, if I'm gonna live my whole life like this, then I'm just wasting my life away. There's so much more I can be doing with if I have more energy. I could be, running a business. I could be going out and enjoying my life instead of just staying at home and being tired and being sick all the time. So I started to research some alternative therapies, such as, and specifically, frequency therapies using electromagnetic energy. And at the same time, I was learning how to meditate. I was learning how to do Qigong, which is a Chinese way of meditation, which combines breathing, movements, and visualization in order to control the energy or the processes in your body, even down to your heartbeat, down to your breath, down to how your mind works, how the different levels of your brain waves, being able to control those things. And I was learning how to do those things through meditation and Qigong, and that helped a lot. But still, I wasn't able to heal myself. I still had that problem. I just felt a little bit more energy. I felt a little bit calmer, less stress. But still, I had that disease, and it didn't get much better until I used electromagnetic field therapy, and I used a frequency for intestinal inflammation. And since the first time I turned it on, I knew after 10 minutes that, wow, this is something that is completely different from everything else I tried, because I started to feel my gut starting to work out. It felt like it was like working out by itself, and I didn't even have to do anything. And I felt this cool sensation fill out my gut area, which I never felt before. And I knew something different was happening, and maybe it was the key to healing myself. So long story short, 90 days later, I was completely healed. I had no more symptoms of my digestive disease. I had so much energy to do the things I wanted to do. I had so much, my mood was improved so much better. My brain functioned a lot better. I was able to focus. I was able to work and focus for long periods of time and get a lot of stuff done. Today, I could do what a regular person does in 3 days. I can do in 1 day. And that's because of this technology. So, and the reason I'm here is because it transformed my life in such a way that I wanted to help other people, because I knew that there's people out there that are suffering just like me, that have been looking for a solution. They've tried literally everything there is to try in order to heal themselves, but they haven't been able to heal themselves completely. Maybe it worked to a certain extent. Maybe they 20% better, 30% better, and then sometimes they relapse, and sometimes it gets better, and it's just a struggle every day. But then I wanted to help people, really just transform themselves 100%, 110%, make themselves into what they're supposed to be. We are supposed to be healthy. And what does healthy mean? What does normal supposed to mean? And today, in today's day and age, we don't have normal anymore. The normal is sickness and disease. That's the norm. But how can we bring it back to the normal that we intended to be as humans, which is to be vibrant, to be energetic, to be creative, to be powerful, because we are created with a lot of power inside of us. We have such incredible power inside of us that we have not tapped. Why have we not tapped into it? Because most of us are so busy staying and surviving and staying semi-healthy and mostly sick, rather than being like ultra healthy, which is where we're supposed to be. Okay, so my goal, my vision is to bring as many people as possible, bring you, bring your family, bring everybody that you know into that ultra health, into that normal health that we're supposed to have as humans. So today we're talking about qi. And what is qi? People ask me, they say qi, right? They pronounce it qi as qi, but it's not pronounced qi, it's actually qi in Chinese. So what is qi? There's so many different kinds of explanations. And qi is just the Asian or the Chinese way or word for it, but qi exists in many other cultures. So what other cultures are there? I mean, what other definitions are there? Okay, well, if you see this graph here, so qi, that's Chinese, and then in Japanese it's called ki. It's also prana for Hindu. Odd, odo, orgone, time density, torsion, deltrons, e-emanation, chronofield, vril, bioplasma, biogravity, mana, orendo, waken, wakando, baraka, numa, mycogenic rays, elan vitale, life force, and subtle energy. So these are just different names given to it by different societies and civilizations, and also by scientists that have discovered what this subtle energy is. And I'm going to explain a little bit about how science is showing what qi actually is. You guys want to learn what qi actually is and what scientists have found out recently? Raise your hand if you do. Because until, let's say, before 20 years ago, when we talk about qi, people thought it was just some kind of made-up fantasy and only exists in kung fu movies and only exists in sci-fi movies or books or comics and superhero movies and stuff like that. It doesn't really exist in real life. It's just made up. It's just like a fantasy, right? But now, or recently, in the last 20 years, and now even more so because of the internet and the information age, now we learn that we can scientifically prove that there's qi. It's all around us. All the physicists, there's so much evidence and so much research into it that has been done. But conventional scientists are not really willing to accept it because it's outside of what they normally accept as common as physics. But what we're finding is that now there's a different level of physics that exists beyond conventional physics, okay, which I explain. So let me tell you a story. There's been a lot of scientific experiments done, and one of them involved a Qigong master. Now, they've done hundreds of these experiments. I'm just going to explain one of them. And there's this Qigong master who they put in a room in the city, and then they had another lab somewhere else where they had these petri dishes, and they put human cells in these petri dishes. So you know what petri dishes look like, right? So it's something like this. So they would put human cells in these petri dishes and expose them to gamma radiation. Now, what do you think happens to cells when they get exposed to gamma radiation? Who knows? They die, okay? So usually, if you get exposed to gamma radiation, just like the Hulk did in in Avengers, right? You got exposed with gamma radiation. So you die, cells die. And in a matter of 24 hours, usually half of the cells will die, human cells. So what they did with this Qigong master was that they told him, okay, we want you to use your mind and use your qi energy to basically stop these cells from dying. And he did exactly that. And they tested him to put his intention into one petri dish and then he gave his energy, or he gave chi energy before the gamma rays were exposed to it. So he did it for about like 10 minutes, and he put the intention of protecting those cells in one of the petri dishes. And then after 24 hours, they counted the cells, and then the one that he energized had 80% survival rate, whereas the other one had only 50% survival rate. Are you guys following me? So he was able to increase the survival rate of the cells from only 50% up to 80%, just because he was sending his chi energy to the petri dish. Are you guys following? All right, so just by using his mind, and it's just not something he did just once. He repeated it about 500 times, okay? Not himself, but they did it with about 10 different Qigong masters, and they were all able to do the same thing. And apparently, they were able to do it regardless of whether there's any shielding on the petri dishes or not. So some of you might be thinking, okay, well, if you put some kind of electromagnetic shielding and shield and block the energy around the petri dish, then obviously then the chi energy will not get through, right? Well, they did that, and it had no difference. Whether they were shielding or not, it made no difference. The chi energy still went through and still affected the cells. Another thing that they found was that they did the experiment while the Qigong master was in the lab, and then they did an experiment while the Qigong master was about 500 miles away. And would you think that there's a difference? Do you think if he was further away that his energy would be weaker, or maybe not, it wouldn't even work? So the answer is that regardless of distance, the energy healing had the same effect. So he was able to increase the survival rate of the petri dishes or the human cells just as well as if he was there in person. So there was no difference that distance. So even if he was 3,000 miles away, yes, that's right, he was able to remotely alter the effect of or shield the human cells from gamma radiation. Okay, and they did this many, like hundreds of times, and they still got the same effects. And guess what else is really interesting is that they also discovered that a poorly conditioned space would stop the healing ability. Okay, what do you mean by poorly conditioned space? Now we're talking about something that is not obviously it's not visible, you can't see it, and also it's not electromagnetic either. Now, because now our chi coil is electromagnetic, you can feel it with a magnet, you can even sense it with your hands a lot. But then the chi energy that he was using was something else. It wasn't just electromagnetic. It was going through another medium that had no correlation to how far it is, and actually no correlation to time either, which I'll explain. Time and space. So what is this energy? Well, if this energy is real, then that means that it's everywhere. It's all around us, and it's always affecting us at all times. So a poorly conditioned space, I don't mean air conditioned, I mean a place that has very bad chi energy. So there's places, have you ever walked into the room where you just felt like there's something, wrong in the room, and just felt this really bad vibe in the room? Or if you walked in another room and then you just felt really good, you just felt happy, you just felt at peace, you just felt calm. Okay, so there's a such thing as energy rating or energy condition of a space of a room. So what they also found was that if they did not prepare the room energetically ahead of time by removing the negative energy, the healing would be stopped. Okay, so you got to think about that. And they proved this scientifically. You had to energetically cleanse the room before they did the experiments. Otherwise, it would not work. Okay, energetically cleanse. So you're probably asking, how do you energetically cleanse? Well, there's many ways to do it. You can do it with your mind. You can do it with an aura coil. That's what they're for. They cover an entire house with the electromagnetic field, so you can cleanse a whole house and keep it clean. Or you can use other kinds of technologies out there to keep it clean. But those are the three things that they found. Is number one, they were able to, without a doubt, affect the life and the health of cells by just using their intention. Okay. Number two, it did not reduce in effectiveness even if it was shielded. Number three, it did not reduce in effectiveness regardless of distance. And number four, the space or the place where they conducted an experiment had to be energetically clean or basically sterilized before they can do it. Just the same way if you're going to do any experiment, you have to sterilize all the petri dishes and clean them from all bacteria. You have to do the same thing with the energetic space. So think about that. Think about what kind of energetic space you're in and how that is probably one factor of inhibiting your healing and your well-being in your life. Okay? So you guys are excited about hearing that? So that's just one experiment. There's hundreds of different experiments done like this with Qigong masters, with pranic healers, Reiki healers. It's all the same thing. Okay? We can all do this. All humans have the ability to heal energetically, to use their mind and intention to do exactly that, to be able to send energy and heal your other people or things or affect different things. And your mind will be blown when I talk about other things that you can do with your mind, not just healing. There's many other things that you can do that most people don't even know. Okay, so let me show you another graph. So here's a graph that kind of explains what happens. So survival rate after radiation. So with no healing, you can see on the left side here, survival rate after 24 hours. So with no extra energy healing, only half the cells survive. If they did the healing after the radiation exposure, then 70% would survive. If they did the healing before the radiation exposure, then 80% would survive. If they did it before and after, so they did the healing session before the exposure and after exposure, then that would increase to 88%. And then they said, well, why is not 100%? There must be something we're missing. So they got the idea of karma. So they thought that the cells had karma because they were from humans, right? So the human, where the cells came from, probably had karma. So they need to boost the karma of the cells in order to increase the healing effectiveness. And what they did was during the experiment, they would donate money with the intention to send that karmic energy to the cells. And surprisingly, that worked too. Surprisingly, they were able to increase it up to 96% when they increased the cell's karma. Okay, you think karma is not real or it's just kind of something made up, but they were able to scientifically prove that whether karma or not exists, they, with their intention, gave money and donated it during the experiment, and they were able to increase their effectiveness even more. So think about it. If you want to heal, what else is stopping you from healing? Is it because of your karma? Is it because there's something that's blocking the positive energy in your life? Is there something in your space? Are you receiving the proper chi energy in your life? Okay, so that's the story about that. Now they did a lot of experiments. Let me share a few more with you so I can prove a point. So they also did experiments with mice and with Qigong as well. So they had another group of Qigong masters, and they had a laboratory full of mice, and they injected the mice with cancer. And normally what happens when they inject mice with cancer is they die. So what they did is they wanted the Qigong masters to basically reduce the cancer cell growth in the mice using their intention. And this was the result. Okay, so with Qigong therapy on liver cancer in mice, they had a control which shows the cell growth, the cancer cell growth was, up here. Okay, they had a sham, so they had a placebo, which was, a little bit lower, but still up here. But then for the mice that had Qigong treatment, Qigong therapy, their cancer cell growth was much lower. All right, so these are documented experiments done. What else did they do? They also experimented with the effect of energy healing on cancer recovery in mice. So experimental mice, control mice in the middle. Okay, so the people, the mice who had the Qigong treatment, their recovery of from cancer was much higher than the mice that didn't. And once again, another one, with no control, with no Qigong therapy, the cancer cell growth was high at 100, and with Qigong therapy, it was at only 40 to 60. So basically, they were able to inhibit the cancer cells from growing 50%. And guess what? That's right. They did this from 3,000 miles away. And you can research this. His name is Master Ji-Xing Li. And he's not the only one. There's many other Qigong masters that he have studied this with and scientifically proven that Qigong healing works at a distance even. Okay, they were able to do this with mice and with a lot of other things. Right now we have our frequency sale. So there's a 20% extra additional on all our frequencies. So if you're looking for any kind of frequencies for your wellness, we have so many. We have Rife frequencies, we have quantum frequencies, wellness and chi energy, meditation, DMT and ayahuasca. We have NAD and NMN frequencies for longevity. We have abundance, manifestation, weight loss and beauty, brain and psychic ability, inner circle, resonant consoles, which have all the frequencies on a tablet, so you don't need to use your phone, and it's a lot more convenient. We have 4 different kinds of resonant consoles now, all on sale. So if you want to, and you get 10% off if you're a first-time customer, in addition to another 20% off. That's a little secret. You can combine it, but we have a limited time, so go and check it out. Another thing, you can go to qilifestore.com, QILIFESTORE.com, and grab your frequencies. What are the frequencies for? Well, they're basically we took chi energy in a way, and then we made it into the technology. Okay, because chi energy is possibly the bridge between the mythical and the spiritual and the scientific. It could be the bridge that bridges the gap between those two things. And now, because we understand what chi really is, then we can actually create technologies that replicate chi. Because those Qigong masters probably have been studying or doing their work for at least 10 years to get to the level where they're at. So with regular people, we don't have as much time and energy to become as good Qigong masters. We all have the ability, but we can't, not all of us can get to that level. So why not use a technology and just get the benefits from just a technology that replicates Qi? So that's what Qi calls are. That's what these frequencies are for. So you want to try them out. We have a lot of really good reviews on them. And, it's just incredible. You just try them out and your life will be transformed. Okay, second thing is we have a TikTok video contest. Again, that's this month until the end of the month. And if you want to win a free Chico Max, you get the Chico Max worth $3,000. Okay, there's going to be 3 people who can win this. And just like last time, you just make a video on with a Chico, or you don't have a Chico, just make any video on any of our products, even the download. You can make a video on it, and you can enter. Just post it up on your social media with the tags, and you're automatically entered into the into the contest. And we're gonna pick 3 people. We're gonna pick the most inspiring, the most creative, and the funniest video. And if you win, then you get to win a brand new Chico Max, which is our most powerful Chico with 6 quantum crystals inside, 20 square feet coverage, dual layer toroidal winding. Okay, so this is our latest technology. And what's more, if you think that, oh, I'm not good enough to make a video, I probably can't do one as good as all the other people, don't worry about it, because we're also going to select 10 people just randomly who are going to win some surprise gifts. Okay, so if you want to win something, if you just want to post up a video, just post up a video just so that you might be able to win that random draw. How long do we have? So you have until the end of this month. Okay, so you got plenty of time to do this. Okay, you got, this is September 9th, so you got like 21 days. You got 3 weeks to do it, and you can post as many posts as you want. So every single video you post up is considered an entry. So if you want to increase your chances of winning, just post a ton of videos up. Just make a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Okay, whatever you want to make, and then you can make. Okay, so you just look at this website here. Okay, and then yeah, so just use the tags. Just need to put the tags in @ChiCoil and #ChiCoil, and you'll be automatically entered. All right, so that's for the announcements. So what is Qi? Well, first, it helps to understand what kind of different levels of Qi there are. There's actually many different levels of Qi. So when somebody says Qi, it can mean many different things, because like as we know, Qi is all over the place. It's everywhere. But I've kind of categorized it in 4 kind of semi categories. So there's Qi in your body, that's internal, inside your body. Qi that's outside your body, which is external. There's Qi in your environment, and mind Qi or consciousness Qi, which is universal and also inside of you. So the idea is that consciousness is all connected. We are all connected. The universe is integrated and it's holographic. So we are all kind of representations of each other and also representations of the entire universe. But I'll get to that. Okay, let's start with the simple stuff. So our body, the Qi inside our body, that's pretty easy to understand, right? We breathe in there. And then in Chinese, the word for Qi is Hei or Qi, which is the same pronunciation as air. Okay, so already that's very really understand. We breathe in air. That's one source of Qi. And if we don't breathe air, what happens? We suffocate and die, right? So we need Qi as a life force. We need to have it. So that's the most basic understanding of Qi. Well, what other Qi is there? There's also Qi in our food, right? You eat the food, you get energy from the food, you get nutrients from the food, it nourishes your body, gives you energy so you can move, so you can talk, so you can think. That's pretty easy to understand. So we have Qi from food. We have also Qi in our organs. What do our organs do? Well, organs have a different function to play in your body. So some organs are made to process Qi or convert the energy into Qi, right? And then there's some organs that help to store your Qi. And there's some organs that help to activate and use your Qi. So without your organs, what will you do? You will probably die or probably won't function normally. So your organs also have Qi. They are essential, and then they create Qi, or they store Qi, or they process or transform Qi. Your blood is also a form of Qi because it flows. If your blood stops flowing, what happens? You probably die. So blood flows in the same way that Qi flows. So as your Qi flows through your body, so does your blood. It kind of follows each other. All right. What else has Qi? Your bones and your marrow has Qi. They say that your bone marrow is very important because that's basically where your Qi is stored. And you can tell how strong a person is in their Qi energy by seeing how much bone marrow they have in their bones. What else? Herbs. So that's the same as food. So you eat the herbs, and some herbs are better at activating your Qi than other herbs, and some herbs, better for organs. So they all have their own part to play. So one level of Qi is the Qi that's internally in your body, as I explained here, and that's pretty easy to understand. Traditional Chinese medicine is all basically talking about these things. Okay, there's also your acupressure points, your meridians. That's also the channels where Qi flows in your body. Okay, I need to add that acupuncture meridians. So your acupoints and your meridians are the channels where Qi flows in your body. And if you study acupuncture, you learn how to basically rewire or activate certain places where you have Qi. So if you have blockages anywhere in your organs or blockages in your body that cause pain, then with acupuncture you can either loosen up those blockages, or you can activate places that are too weak, or you can slow down or cool down places that are too inflamed or too overexcited. So it's all about balance. Okay, so the key about Qi is that there needs to be balance. You know, the yin yang symbol is balance, right? So you have to have balance in your life, which is very kind of contradictory to Western culture, where they say, okay, you got to get stronger, bigger, stronger, faster, bigger, more powerful, right? Well, there's no balance there. And what happens is that we become so aggressive and we become so focused on becoming bigger, stronger, right? That we actually lose balance and we basically become unhealthy. It's not healthy. That's the short story. It's just not healthy to do that. Okay, what's the second part? Body, external. So qi is also external, and this is something that people start to, they start to have a hard time understanding. It's like, what do you mean qi is external? You mean there's qi outside of my body? Well, the answer is yes. There is qi outside your body. You actually have a electromagnetic field around your body. You can measure this with electromagnetic devices. And the biggest field comes from your heart. Your heart has an energy field that you can measure up to 10 to 15 feet away from your body. That's how far it goes. You can measure this electromagnetic field. It's called a biofield. And then there's a camera that I have. It's in my garage. It's called a GDV camera. And you can actually take a picture of your biofield and you can see how much qi energy you have. You can scientifically measure it. Okay? So this is the qi energy that's outside your body that you can measure electromagnetically. And this is the technology that our main part of the technology that we use in our qi coils and resonant wands and oracles and so on is we actually replicate the electromagnetic energy from nature and from a healthy person, a healthy body, and then we basically program you with this electromagnetic energy so that now you can enhance your cells with energy or enhance yourself or balance yourself with electromagnetic energy. Okay, so that's another type of qi. Okay, the third type of qi is your qi from your environment. Remember in the experiment when I talked about how a space is unclean or a space is not prepared well or unconditioned, in bad condition. Well, that's your environment, right? So when we talk about electromagnetic fields, we actually have electromagnetic fields in nature and electromagnetic fields from technology. So the phone that you're looking at right now or the screen that you're looking at, it is actually giving off an electromagnetic field. And most of the time it's actually unhealthy. Also, Wi-Fi, cell towers, microwaves, they all give off a harmful electromagnetic field called harmful EMFs. Okay, so those kind of electromagnetic fields are harmful for you because they're not tuned to program you for health. They're not tuned for that. They're actually tuned to nothing. They're tuned to actually frequencies that could possibly cause you cancer. And that's actually happened to a lot of people, is people who live closer to cell phone towers have higher rates of cancer in their body. Okay, it's been proven many times. Now, what else is electromagnetism? So electromagnetism is not just magnetic. There's also the whole spectrum of the electromagnetic spectrum, which covers everything from X-rays to infrared rays to gamma rays to sound energy, light energy, magnetic energy, and electric energy. So it's a big spectrum of frequencies, basically all frequencies. Okay, and every day we're bombarded with this, whether it be good from nature or it be bad from bad technology. Okay, what do you mean by nature? Well, if you didn't know, the Earth has an electromagnetic field. We all studied this in science class, right? But what else is that our Earth has a grid of lines called ley lines. And these are paths where the positive electromagnetic energy of the Earth flow. And back in ancient China, if you were a commoner, it would be illegal for you to be buried in a ley line. Okay, so only the royalty and only important people were allowed to be buried upon the ley line. They call them the dragon paths. And if you study at the ancient sacred sites around the world, you'll find that all of them are on ley lines. Take a look at Stonehenge. Take a look at the pyramids. Take a look at the Mayan pyramids. Take a look at the palace in China. They are all on ley lines, and they're for a reason, because they are there to capture the natural positive qi flow of the planet. Okay, which brings us to feng shui. Feng shui is the practice of being able to interpret these ley lines so that you can plan your crops, you can plan your construction, you can plan your home in a way that captures the positive energies and balance rather than be in a place where there's bad energy, which was basically ruin your life. Okay. There's also, so that's talking about on Earth. But what else is beyond Earth is the stars and the planets and other galaxy and the whole universe, right? So there's also astrological chi. If Earth has a magnetic field, don't you think that other planets have magnetic fields? Of course. So that's what astrology is about. It's about measuring the effect of the electromagnetic energy or the magnetic energy that the planets or other galaxies or other astrological constructs or whatever is in the universe are affecting us here on planet Earth. So it does have an effect, even if it's minor, slight perturbations. It does have an effect on our psychology, on our mood. Even it has an effect on our radio waves. Let's say there's a Mercury retrograde in the sky. Let's say Mercury is going backwards. It actually affects our radio signals. So if it affects radio signals, it affects us because we are all antennas and we all respond to electromagnetic waves or radio waves. Okay? Are you guys following? So that's kind of like a short summary of how chi is in the environment, whether it be in your home, in your workplace, in your city, up to the planet, up to the solar system and galaxy. Okay? So that's based on electromagnetic energy. Okay, the fourth level of chi is chi that is even harder to explain because you can't measure it with an electromagnetic device. We can't measure it with some kind of spectrogram. You can't measure the frequency, but what happens is that you can measure the effects. You can measure the effects very, very clearly. Just like in that experiment I explained, he was using this consciousness or invisible chi quantum, let's call it quantum energy, quantum chi energy, and he was able to heal the cancer cells without electromagnetic energy. So how does that? What is going on there? What kind of chi energy is that? Well, this kind of chi energy is something people call many different things, just like chi itself. Okay, let me see what people call it. They call it, so dark matter is one of them. They call it dark energy. They call it quantum energy. They call it torsion fields. Okay, so there's many things to call it, but to sum it up, what it really is the stuff that most of the universe is made of. You know what dark matter is, right? Do you know what dark energy is? Well, all the astrophysicists, when they look at all the galaxies in the universe and they map them out, they at first they couldn't figure out why light was bending in certain ways where there was nothing to bend them, because according to Einstein, you need to have some kind of mass in order to bend light, right? But they couldn't find any mass. And what they found is whatever this stuff is, it actually makes up 90% of our universe. But we don't know what it is. Okay? We know it's there. We can see the effects, but we don't know what it is. We can't find it. And they call it dark matter or dark energy. And you guess what? 90% of the universe is made up of this dark matter. Okay? So what is this dark matter? Well, maybe it is consciousness itself. Because what consciousness is what creates order out of chaos. All right. So our consciousness is what creates order, what creates reality out of chaos. Because according to the Big Bang, there's no reason why we should all end up with, and solid things, and we should all end up with consciousness and the ability to think, ability to do all this stuff that we are. There's no reason for it to happen. Okay. And I believe that the only reason it happened is because there was consciousness to start with, to begin with, before there was the Big Bang, before there was any kind of creation of all that we exist in the universe. There must be something there before it happened. Okay, so in conventional physics, conventional science, okay, there's four forces, right? There's quantum mechanics, gravity, electricity and magnetism, and nuclear forces. Okay, so these are the four widely common conventional forces. But over the years, even like 50 years ago or 100 years ago, a lot of scientists found that there's something else happening, because a lot of the experiments that they were doing, even Einstein's experiments, didn't actually work. And what they found, a lot of scientists discovered that there must be something else. Like, for example, the dark matter. And they found that there's something else happening, and there's some other level of mechanic or some other level of energy that we have not yet conventionally accepted yet. And that is the same energy that's responsible for consciousness effects, remote healing, distance healing, dowsing, ESP or extrasensory perception, pyrokinesis, psychokinesis, which are able to move things without touching them, prayer, visualization, out-of-body experiences, near-death experiences, sacred sites, levitation, teleportation, torsion technology, higher dimensions. Okay, why am I talking about these things? Because all these things have had numerous and decades of scientific research showing that it's real and that humans can do this. We can distance heal, we can do remote healing, we have ESP, we have all these abilities, and they all break the rules of conventional science. But how come? But why does it work? Why is it happening? Why is it scientifically proven that it can work? Well, it's because there's another level of energy that most people have not accepted yet. And that's exactly what we're doing here at Chi Life, is we want to explore and we want to educate and we want you to experience this Chi energy so that you can experience this fifth element, so to speak, this fifth level of energy that scientists are just beginning to understand, are just beginning to discover and begin to incorporate in technology, which is what we do. Okay? So you guys excited? You're part of basically the cutting edge of science. You're in the cutting edge of spirit and science. And then Chi energy, subtle energy, could be the missing link or could be the connection between the two. Now you're probably thinking, okay, what else can you do with this Chi energy? What other experiments have there been? So I've done a little bit of research and I found a few things. I don't have the experiments themselves, but I have a quick summary, okay? So we're able to, our Chi energy can change the properties of water. They change the bond angles and lengths, the water tension, dissolvability, the pH balance. So you can use our minds to change the properties of water. Isn't it crazy? Electromagnetism, we can change the effects of magnets and non-metals. We can change magnetic monopoles. We can bend the light with it. We can, let me stop doing that. So we can cause electrostatic charge and magnetism. We can actually change gravity. We can change the weight of objects. We can increase the weight or decrease the weight with Chi energy. We can bend light. We can distort photography light when there's Chi energy. We can excite DNA with Chi energy, and we can actually slow the rate of time or speed up time. We can actually affect the rate of nuclear decay in atoms. We can create torsion fields, twisting effects caused by entropic reactions. So basically, we can affect the outcome of chaos. Basically, we can use our minds to create order in a chaotic a reaction, any kind of reaction. We can create heat during healing. We can produce it. We can change the temperatures in a lab. There's also dark matter, dark energy. There's physiological effects. We can change EEG, EKG, physiological metrics between the healer and the healer and the healee. And also thousands of many Qigong practitioners can actually go on for years without eating. That's right. So they've done studies on this of showing people that did not eat for years. So apparently, they're able to extract Qi and nutrition and energy from Qi itself, from subtle energy. It's kind of like the 0-point field. We're all talking about how can there be unlimited energy. Well, these people, they're able to convert just Qi energy into substance. Substance, that's right. Okay, and they've done experiments in Russia and China for these. So all these things that you're hearing about is like, okay, this is just BS because it doesn't exist. But well, if it doesn't exist, how could all these scientists over the last 20 years from different countries able to produce the same result? Showing that chi does work, chi energy does exist, and is able to do things that are currently scientifically, conventionally not possible, but we're now proving it with science that it is possible. But so it's just a matter of time before people realize that this is real. Okay, now if this is real, then it means a lot of things. And the thing is that these physics don't disprove that conventional physics doesn't work. What they actually do is they actually add another model. So they actually add another level or another layer of reality of science. Just like Newtonian physics was superseded by Einstein physics, right, of relativity, and now there's a new level of quantum physics, and now there's actually beyond quantum physics, there's this subtle energy which is actually beyond quantum mechanics. It goes beyond that. Okay, so it just takes time before the general scientific community will begin to understand. But it doesn't matter what other people do. All I care is that we have a technology and it works. Okay, isn't that all that matters? We have a technology and it does what we need it to do. Okay, we have a technology and it helps you to relieve stress, helps you to sleep better, it helps you to heal faster, it helps you to regenerate, it helps you to unlock your spiritual awakening. Okay, all these things we have done it already. So that's the important part, right? Okay, but it's good to know, where things are headed. Now, all this is great news, but let me tell you the bad news. You guys want to, do you want to know the bad news? The bad news is that governments know this. Okay, the governments know that chi energy exists. Governments have been using it in a very nefarious way. Okay, so the next topic we're going to talk about is the weaponization of chi energy. Okay, sounds kind of scary because it is. So the article is about novel electromagnetic disease induction and its weaponization. All right, and this was it's an old article, but basically this is done by a whistleblower who was explaining how the government was using electromagnetic frequencies in order to create diseases in a large population. Okay, they're called the disease induction by novel electrodynamics. And how it worked was that the major use of this QP disease induction weapon will be to slightly augment the effectiveness of biological warfare strikes against the United States by terrorists by unwittingly or wittingly acting as proteges. Such attacks eventually would be made in and against the populace of the United States, causing mass casualties by impressing the same disease vector engine for specific BW pathogens used by terrorists in their attacks. In populace residing in the struck population center and bringing that resonant engine state in affected body potentials to shadow state, just shy of populace significantly breaking out with the disease. Then real biological pathogens for that disease, when unleashed by the terrorists, will have greatly augmented effectiveness. Okay, so long story short is that it was being used as a way to basically prepare a place for attack by augmenting a disease. Okay, so if terrorists or if the United States government themselves wanted to create a disease and have it spread in a large populace, they would use this electromagnetic frequency of the disease and then spread it or emanate it or broadcast it before releasing the disease itself in order to increase the kill rate of the disease. Okay, so they have the technology to do that. And are they using it now? I don't know. But they have this technology to use electromagnetic waves and frequencies as a weapon to spread disease. Okay? Such quantum potential pre-preparation, and spreading of the targeted immune systems gives about a 5-fold increase in biological strike effectiveness. You guys hear that? So it's a pre-preparation, spreading of the targeted immune system. So they're targeting our immune systems to make us more susceptible to a biological strike. And it would increase the effectiveness by 5 times rather than without the electromagnetic frequency. Okay, so that's pretty scary, you guys. So the government has this technology. Okay, so this is the nightmare of bioterrorism. So not only are we, susceptible to infectious diseases and viruses, we're also susceptible to them more because of electromagnetic frequencies. But you know what I've been thinking? What has rolled out in the last year and a half during the pandemic that we were all really fighting against before the pandemic? What thing really happened? Like, what rolled out during that time? Right, 5G. If you think about it, before the pandemic, we were all, they were about to roll out 5G networks, and we're all fighting against it, saying it's a weapon, and it's not being FDA approved, and they want to roll it out. And then the pandemic happened. And what happened? We all get distracted by all the news we got from the pandemic, all the fear, and we forgot about 5G. And then what did they do with 5G? Guess what happened? They rolled it out silently and quietly while we were all distracted with the pandemic. The FCC and FDA are allowing to build out a 5G in the United States without doing proper studies on it. And both the United States and China are rolling out 5G in a rapid rate, growing approximately 5 times in size from 2019 to 2020. Okay? China has already 690,000 5G stations, and that growing at a rapid rate. Looking at 2018, 2020, and they expect it to, basically cover the whole world practically with 5G. Why is that important? Because now they have a distribution network for any kind of that weaponized electromagnetic frequency. Okay, I'm not saying they're doing it. I'm saying that they could if they wanted to. And unless you're protected, unless you have some way of protecting yourself, or at least being able to help yourself recover from it, then we all susceptible to it. We all we all have this this risk. We all have this risk of this happening. So what do we do? Yeah, Qi is going to help. Qi will definitely help. On another note, we do have these frequencies that you can get. Vitamin D is one of the big things right now that's going to help boost your immune system. And we get vitamin D, vitamin V, that's a good idea. So vitamin D, and we get it from the sun. So we have a track for the sun. It's free. It's called the Sound of the Sun sample track. So if you're on this webinar, you're watching this video, and you want to get some more vitamin D, or you want to get more vitamin D absorption, then this track could actually help you do that, because we recorded the frequency of the sun. So when you listen to it, or when you use it with your Qi coils, you actually get that sun frequency and sun energy, which help you to produce more vitamin D in your body. So that will help. We actually also have very important vital immune frequencies, if you didn't know. Like in our web store, we have something called wellness, or total wellness. And in that total wellness collection, one of the frequencies is Immune Boost Max. And this is actually quite a powerful frequency that we have. So it's part of the total wellness package. Let me show you where that is. So you go to here, you go to frequencies, you go to wellness and Qi energy. It's one of our best sellers. It's the Energy Frequency Healing Total Wellness Collection. And right now it's an additional 20% off. And one of the frequencies in here that's included is called Immune Boost Max, as well as many other ones that basically any practitioner, anybody who wants basically an all-purpose kit, all-purpose wellness kit that they can use for anybody, then this is a highly recommended one. It's got Immune Boost, it's got all-purpose wellness, it's got fatigue and tiredness, exhaustion formula, DNA activation, DNA repair, blood circulation, get well soon and recovery, all-purpose regeneration, and sleep. So these are like, the essentials if you want wellness, and we have that. So I highly recommend it. We also have the immune support bundle. And if you go to, and these are Rife frequencies. So you're going to go get that, you go to immune. You can search immune on our store. You can see anything that has immune in it. So you got immune support bundle, this one here. So this is also highly recommended. So these are Rife frequencies for immune support, for viruses, for cold and flu, and for viruses, and for respiration health. So this is actually quite powerful that you can use. Okay, so go to chilifestore.com, chilifestore.com, get these frequencies. And in the meantime, to boost your own bioresonance energy, boost your own resilience, so that you won't be affected as much, especially if there is some kind of EMF attack, then you would be a lot more protected if you weren't. Yes, and chi coils. So as I said, we have our chi coils. We all love chi coils, and chi coil max. We have the chi coil 2. All these are on sale right now. If you don't know how chi coil works, is you first download the app. Right now I'm actually playing this frequency, recharge, and the app has 900 frequencies, right? You download the app, you get a whole bunch of free ones already. And the free ones you get, like recharge, de-stress, attract, sleep. Those are all free. Regenerate, soothe. So we got a bunch of free ones, like basically everything you need to as like a first aid kit, so to speak. And you connect it to our mobile power kit, and then that connects to that powers the chi coil, and the chi coil creates a field of energy around it up to 20 square feet. For this one's up to 11. For this one's up to 20. So it can be big enough to clear the energy in the room. So even if you're just in the room, you'll be receiving the energy. And you can use this to basically reprogram all your cells in your body, reprogram all your DNA to start to become optimal. And also protects you, because it increases your chi energy field, increases your bioenergy field. We use the GDV camera. Sorry. So this is the 20 square foot. This is the 10 or 11 square feet. This is the app. And then this is the power kit that connects to it. And as I was saying, so you can use it to increase your chi energy field, that electromagnetic field that comes from your body. And that field acts as a sort of like shield around you. Literally, it acts as a shield, so that if other frequencies like start coming into it, then it will be harder for you to be affected by it. Okay, Michelle wants to know, can you still get good effects with only the frequency, or do you need the chi coil? That's a good question. They're just two different kinds of modalities. The chi coils, they definitely affect your body more than the frequencies. So the frequencies are really good for your mind. Okay? Like for example, every night I listen to the sleep frequency, and that helps me sleep. But then when I have pain, or when I have pain, or when I need more energy, then I use the chi coils. So both work well. It's just one works better than the other one. What frequency pack did you use for intestinal problem? We have digestive support. That's in our male enhancement. I know it says male enhancement, but part of what's in there is a digestive support. So if you go to frequencies, you go to Rife, or you go to wellness and chi energy. The one for digestion is here. You go to Rife, and then you go down to where's digestion? Digestion, this one here. Okay, so just use this one. Okay, another one you can use is go to wellness chi energy, You go to male enhancement, and that's part of this male enhancement package, which is pretty good. It's testosterone, and not just for men. Like some women also need testosterone too, I guess. And it has in here digestive system somewhere here. Digestive system support. So I use that too. So those two I recommend. Front pant pockets, back pocket. Where's the best place to keep your chi coil all day? Front back pockets. I would keep it. I keep it in my side pockets if you have side pockets. When I go for a walk, I put it in the fanny pack. So anywhere, you know, around the middle, because we put it in the middle, that's where your dantian is. That's where your chi energy storage is. Like put it on your stomach, in front of your belly button. That's where I usually do it. If you're walking around all day, if you're just sitting at a desk, it doesn't really matter. You can just put it on your desk in front of you. If you have oral coil, you just put it anywhere in the room and you're going to get the energy. Same with the Resonant wand. It's pretty powerful. It covers 170 square foot. By the way, oral coils, we have a huge sale on too right now because we are phasing out some of the original legacy oral coils. So if you want to get them, we have limited supply of oral coils and they're a really good deal. So if you go here, you go to legacy systems. You see these oral coils, we only have one left of this one, 14-inch that you see in the background here. We only have, not this one, but we have one refurbished one and 3 new ones. And they're only 1,500 and 2,000. So, and then also the Resonant wand system and the practitioner system. These are a really good deal. We're phasing it out. We're having some new chi coils come in. I think we won't have the 14-inch anymore. So if you want to get a small oral coil, now is a good time to get it before they all sell out. Then we won't make them anymore. We're only going to make the 24 inches. What frequency is good for joint health? We just, like for all these questions, just search our website. We have like, just search joint or just search intuition and it's all in there. Like for example, you can, if you want joint health, just search joint and then you'll see joints. And then you can see, you know, we have one specifically for joints. These are Rife frequencies, bones and joints, bones and spine. Okay, so it's all there. What's for intuition? So you type in intuition. Intuition, we have one called Divine Intuition and Instinct. We have one called Universal Wisdom Intuition Collection. We have Psychic Ability Collection, which is the most powerful one. So you can search that. Will you do a discount soon for a package deal of the Gold One and the whole house coil? Yeah, we can do something for you. So if you're interested, just leave your name and phone number and email on privately. Send it on the chat privately to me, and then I'll get someone to call you in and give you a really good deal. Crown says, David, here in Australia we have to pay. We have afterpay for what we can pay off the coils may help. We have afterpay for those who pay off the coils may help with sales. Afterpay, okay, you mean for financing? Yeah, we can do an in-house financing option, but I don't think we have anything like afterpay set up yet. We can look into it. Yeah, we'll look into it afterpay for Australian customers because we do have a lot of Australian customers like yourself. What's best mob pH and headsets? Mobile and headsets. Headsets, it doesn't really matter. Anything works fine. When we use magnets with the chi coil, is that enhancing or diminishing the chi coil? You're enhancing it when you use chi coils with magnets. Michael says, I use headphones to hear frequencies. How often and how loud should I hear it? Well, you don't want to turn it so high that your ears hurt or you start to be uncomfortable. So just regular, like you're listening to music, that's how loud you should turn it on. And you can use headphones or you can just play it from your phone. When you use the headphones, you can hear the lower frequencies better. So headphones are probably recommended. But then if you use, but actually ideally the best situation if you just listen to frequencies is to use high quality speakers. Because then it's going to vibrate the air around your body, and it's actually your whole body skin will be vibrating to the frequency. Whereas if you use the headphones, it's still good, but then you're just vibrating your ears, right? or around your head. But if you have really nice speakers, you turn up the volume on the frequencies, it'll vibrate the skin on your whole body. Is there a time limit when frequency is in use? What do you mean time limit? It just depends on the person. Some people use it all day long. Like for example, that's the good thing about the oil coils. You can just set and forget. You just plug it to a resonant console with all the frequency on it, so you don't need to use your phone. You just have it play it 24/7. That's why I have in my mom's house, because I can't be can't be there all the time. I don't have time to turn it on and off for her, so I just leave it on all the time. Yeah, Jimmy says I use my PMF all day. Yeah, so you can use it all day. It's just you have to just turn it up or down depending on how you feel, right? Like you will know if you use it long enough, you know that when you had enough, right? If you had enough, you start to feel a little bit nauseous and a little bit dizzy. So when that happens, you need to drink more water and then turn it down a bit or get some rest. So it's just like if you eat too much or you drink too much water, your body would know. Michael said, I can't because I live with other people, so I'm forced to use headphones. How often should I hear the frequencies for best results? These are all in our FAQ, okay, guys? So if you guys go to FAQ, there's a cheat code user guide. It answers pretty much every question you ask here. It shows you the frequency, quick start guide, and cheat code quick start guide, how to set up your phone with the cheat codes, how to use cheat codes, okay? And then we also have a frequency user guide, once again, with a lot of the questions answered here. So if you want to do some more research, go ahead and do that. But for now, how often you should listen to it? As often as you like. But I wouldn't listen to it for more than 3 hours a day. If you hear the frequencies, you can do it every day. It's the same thing with the coil. If you listen to the frequencies, eventually you start to feel like, okay, I've had enough of this, and then you don't want to listen to it. It's kind of like if you listen to a song many, many times, eventually you get tired of the song and you say, okay, I don't want to listen to this anymore. Listen to something else. That's kind of like what happens with the frequencies. You listen to it, and then at first it might feel like, okay, it feels kind of weird, and after you listen for a while, then you feel like, oh, this is actually pretty good, and it makes you feel better. And there's other times when you listen to frequency, and then it makes you feel better right away, and then after you listen to it for some time, then you say, oh, okay, I had enough, and then you stop listening to it. So it's kind of like just food. It's food for your body. It's a magnetic food, and your body will know, and you will naturally know when you had enough. Crown says, where would you start if you were a newbie? The quick start guide. So just go in and watch the quick start guide and start with the frequencies on the app. So we have all that set up for you, Crown Jazz. So yeah, we'll have you have a free consultation. We'll answer all the questions once you get your system. How long before you start seeing results? That really depends from person to person. Like some people see results like instantly. It just depends on how electromagnetically sensitive you are. Like we're talking about chi energy, right? So some people sense it very well, like highly sensitive, and some people don't feel that at all. There's actually about 20% of people won't feel anything. So to be honest, right? 20% won't feel a thing. But then if we hook up the machine to them, and hook up the reading, like the EEG and the heart rate monitor, and then we hook up like the skin conductance machines, we can see it working on them. Their heart rate variability improves, their brain waves calm down. But the thing is that some people, or 20% of the people, just don't have that mind-body connection. So even if something's happening in their body, their mind are not able to realize that it's happening. So they would just say, "Oh, I don't feel anything," but they don't have that mind-body connection to actually notice that something is actually happening. Because when we hook up the machine to them, we can show them that something actually happening. You know what I'm saying? So how fast does it work? Well, it's going to work immediately. It's going to do its work immediately on you. But whether people feel it immediately or not, it really depends on the person. So some people use it for 3 weeks, and they say, "Oh, I finally start to feel it." Some people after they do it for 20 minutes a day, and like 3 weeks later, then they start start noticing the benefits. And then after that, they say, yeah, now I can really feel it. So it's like, some people are softer. Like if you have Play-Doh, some people are softer and some people are harder to kind of shape. So it really depends on you. Vicky says, if I bought a console, is it easy to switch my frequencies from the iPad to the console? Yeah, so the console is basically I don't have one here, but it's a tablet. And if you already bought frequencies on the iPad, they will be automatically transferred to the console. We just unlock it for you. Okay. If you have an iPad that you use separately, then you probably don't really need the console. You just need to buy the frequencies and they'll unlock on the iPad. So the console is really good if you don't have an iPad, you just want a separate device, like you want to use specifically just for the frequencies, and you just want that because we're not charging that much for the console itself. The price of what you're paying for is mostly for the frequencies. Okay. Michelle says, I believe what you're doing is incredible, but why isn't this idea taking over the world? It seems it could heal everything. Yeah, it is very incredible, and thanks for saying that. I was just talking to a professor, university professor. He's also has PhD, and he's very interested in partnering with us. He's got a lab, and he's got like a lot of research and patents and things like that. And we're probably going to be working together very soon. And then there's people are just starting to kind of get understand about energetic medicine, which is what this is. It's energy and it's medicine, and also about quantum and quantum entanglement and quantum energy or chi energy, this subtle energy. So scientists are kind of slowly starting to realize, hey, this stuff works and it's actually very effective. It does not replace all the other beneficial science and medicine, but what it does is it actually enhances it and it gives it another dimension. And the cool thing is that it's practically free, because once you have a frequency, you can just play it as many times as you want. You don't have to keep buying supplements. You don't have to keep getting injections, right? You don't have to keep getting vaccines. You don't have to do that, because once you have it, you can use it as many times as you want and just turn it on and use your phone. Like our phones are so powerful now, and why not turn it into a healing device? Why not turn it into a wellness device? You have this phone that we have. So that's exactly what we do. And we have some really exciting things coming up. If you buy the Quantanium line and any of the Resonant One Gold line, Resonant ones, we're going to give a upgrade to them very soon. So it's going to be a quantum upgrade. I'm not going to explain it. It's going to take too long. But basically, we're going to upgrade it for you free of charge once that new technology is ready. So you invest in the Quantanium. What I mean by Quantanium is, if you go to homepage, you can see like we have our Chico Mini, Chico 2, and then we have our Quantanium line, which is our high end line with the Quantanium crystals. By the way, let me show you something. You probably seen this in the background, wondering what the heck this is. So this is the basically the base inside of Chi Coil Max. Look how complex it is. So I designed this. So the real one will have all the all the windings around it, but this is the inside. And if you look at it very carefully, if you can see, there's these little holes here, and that's where the crystals go. Okay, so we have put crystals in there. So we have 6 crystals in a hexagon pattern, all inside of the coil, and then we put the wires on. So you can't see them when the wires are on, but they are in there. And the powerful thing about crystals, as we know, as most people know, is that they actually hold intention and they hold resonance. So even if your coil, you're not powering it, even if you're not hooked up to any power, you're not playing any frequency, because you have the crystals in there, they would be programmed with that resonance, and they will keep resonating even after you use the coil. Isn't that cool? So that's the feature that the Quantanium line has, and also the Resonant One has, and the new 24-inch coils. The 14 doesn't have it because it doesn't have any crystals, but the 24-inch ones do. So anything with the crystals have that extra resonance, quantanium resonance. Okay, so you get that with that. And then the best resonance is on the wands. People are asking, well, what's the difference between the wands? Look at this. I designed this. This is 24 karat plated gold. These are real rubies and sapphires, topaz, citrine, quartz. Okay, isn't that amazing? So this is resonance on a totally high level, because now I've added all these gems, and they all resonate with energy. So this is the one with the most gems. So real sapphire, real ruby gems. So we all know in Chinese we call them bosek, right? Basically healing stones. All these are in Chinese are called healing stones. There's a reason why they call them healing stones, because they have healing properties. All that's available, and if you're thinking, wow, this stuff is pretty expensive. You can start with a Qigong mini system. I don't have a mini here, but the smaller version of this for only $299, and you can finance it even for like $30 a month or something like that. So it's really low cost for you to start experiencing Qi energy. That's why I want people to do that. I want them to experience this Qi energy that totally transformed my life. Ever since I was a kid, because my uncle is a Tai Chi master, Tai Chi Qigong master. And ever since I was a kid, I would learn from him, doing some Tai Chi and doing Qigong. And I was wondering, well, is this stuff even real? But I felt it and say, okay, it's got to be something. I don't really understand what it is, but I feel it. And I kept doing the practices. And I used it, in my martial arts and used it in my meditation. But I never really figured out, say, okay, how can I improve this? How can I make this available to everyone? And then I figured out this technology, and I was so excited because I said, well, instead of teaching everybody how to do Qigong, which would take forever, why don't I just send them these frequencies, and why don't I just send them these Qi coils, and they can just experience like Qi energy just with the snap of the finger, or just press a button. I don't have to spend a month or a year teaching them how to do Qigong. So that's why I'm excited about this, and I keep improving it. Like I said, there's going to be an upgrade coming up, a free upgrade. And that's part of a new technology I'm working on right now. If you think that what we have right now is awesome, which it is, just wait until you see what else we have in store that's coming up. It's going to be even better. It's going to add on top of this technology and then make it even more powerful and make it even more convenient and easy to use. Crown says, I'm going to set up a human home for helping people. Great, awesome, yeah. Yeah, and then all you need really is just to maybe an aura coil, make it maybe a wand and maybe some Qi coils, and just have it playing all day. People can come in your healing home, you can play a frequency and then automatically receive healing just as they step through the door. By the way, we have a affiliate program. If you don't know about it, a lot of people have been asking, like, how do I become an affiliate? Do you have an affiliate program? Yes, we do. If you go to the bottom of the website, if you go down to the footer, here it says About Us, Media, and Affiliate Program. If you click that, it'll give you a page on how to become an affiliate. Okay, so you can get anywhere from 10 to 30% commission on all of our products, and actually not all. Sorry, I mean Qi coils and frequencies mainly. Okay, you can not the resonant one, not the aura coils. Okay, but that doesn't matter. Okay, just promote the Qi coils, and you're going to get commission. We already have we have something like 100 something affiliates, and we have people making some good money. We have a lot of people that made enough money. They just say, I just want to make enough money to pay for my Qi coils. So they do, and then after that, they still make more money. Just by talking about it on their social media or just sharing it with your friends. You guys get your own link, and then you guys just send people to the site. Our site does all the work. We do all the customer service. We send the stuff out to people, and you get paid. So if you're interested in doing that, learning more about that, just go to that website and click that link and become an affiliate. This works in really well with your TikTok contest because you can sign up as an affiliate, and then you can make your TikTok videos or your social videos. You can post it on Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, wherever. And then you can use your affiliate link and say, if you want to learn more, click on this link. And then all the people that coming to our store to buy whatever they buy, it doesn't even have to be a Qi coil, you'll get credited for it. You get your percentage, you get commission. So that would pay for your Qi coils and then some. So think of you can hit two birds with one stone. You can enter the contest, have a chance to win a Qi coil max or a surprise gift, At the same time, you get to make money as an affiliate. So it's a win-win-win. And then we grow as a company. Isn't that awesome? So isn't that a great idea? So do that. All right. And the deadline is at the end of this month. So get your stuff together, make those videos, set up your affiliate account first. Okay. And then at the same time, make the videos. You can post them anytime. As long as you post it before the 30th of this month, it's going to be counted in. Michael says, which tracks from the DMT ayahuasca should I listen for the best results? They are all good. I would pick the one that I think is the most pleasing to listen to, right? Some of them you might think are, the thing is some of them are psychoactive, some of them are less psychoactive. What I mean is like some of them you start to hallucinate if you listen too much. So some of them are more pleasing, more relaxing. So they all have a kind of like a slight different effect. So I would just try all of them and just pick the ones you like and listen to those. They all have good results. The links you need to know about is the TikTok, QiCallContest.com to get information for the contest. Go to Qi Life store for all the frequencies on sale right now, and also go to the affiliate page to sign up. So all those things you can do. All right. So yeah, stay safe, and take care. Use the Qi and prosper.